Well, we need to know a couple of things. Number one, we need to know how the world's premier law enforcement agency managed to lose 5 months worth of text. And what's also troubling is in the text we do have, they're discussing how to avoid text being captured and secured. So what's missing is important, but also what's there is important. It is manifest bias, not just against Trump, but against his kids, against his business interests. There's a text where they hope the Trump hotel fails. That is a level of bias that you rarely see and you never see from law enforcement officers. What's also troubling to me is this text that Johnny Radcliffe found last night about this secret society. Now, I have no clue what that means because that was not the phraseology I used, but it's the day after the election, and it's the same two people that were discussing a little bit later in the text the damage they had done with the Clinton investigation and how they could, quote, fix it and make it right. That is a level of bias that is stunning among law enforcement officers.
Congressman Ron Johnson, and I know you had a chance to see and hear what just came out of this radio interview with a local radio station. He read off one of the text messages that he says that he has uncovered between the two FBI agents, and we don't have an exact verbatim, but we do know what he read off that he found, and that is Strzok typing, quote, "You and I both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely, I'd be there, no question. I hesitate in part because my gut sense and concern is there's no big there. What does that tell you?
It tells me two things. Number one, actually it tells me three things. Kudos to Senator Johnson for getting this information. Secondarily, it tells me that one of the lead counterintelligence agents in the country doesn't think there's anything there. But Sandra, what really disappoints me the most is he has no interest in participating in an investigation that might clear Donald Trump. His only interest is if there's, quote, something there so he can then fix what he did with the Hillary Clinton email investigation. I don't know a cop that is not equally interested in clearing the innocent as they are getting the bad guys. So for him to only be interested if there's, quote, something there where he can get the president is stunning for an FBI agent to admit.
Can you weigh in on the timing of that tweet that Ron Johnson read off? The text is from May 19th, 2017. This is 2 days, Congressman, after Robert Mueller was appointed special counsel.
Yeah, it's not good, and it's also in that same time period where we're missing 5 months worth of text. So God only knows what else was said. Yeah, that's a really important time period. Sessions has recused himself. Bob Mueller is coming on board. I happen to like him. I respect him. I think he's going to do a good job. But if he's picking guys like Peter Strzok and Lisa Page to be on his team, and they're only interested in being on the team if they can, quote, get the president, they have no interest in clearing him, then he had some hiring failures of epic proportion.
Also, you have talked about the revelation. These text messages show that these agents knew Hillary Clinton would be exonerated before that actually happened. You are calling for James Comey to come back. You want to ask him questions.
I do. We have to talk to him. He's the central figure in the decision, number one, not to charge Secretary Clinton. I've already litigated that issue with him. I've had 3 conversations with him about that. But it is really important to understand when that decision was made. He told Johnny Radcliffe that he didn't make it until after he emailed Hillary Clinton. It sure looks like they made it months before. And if Loretta Lynch knew there was not going to be any charges, how did she know that? Who told her?
Where are these text messages? How is this possible? You know, the president is weighing in, saying this is a huge story. Obviously, the timing of those missing text messages can possibly tell us a lot. What does it tell you?
It tells me, and I say this with a broken heart, that a law enforcement agency that I have tremendous respect for, that I worked with for 16 years, had some bad apples in really important positions of trust and responsibility, and their bias overcame their objectivity. I don't know how much damage they did. It's really not my job to prove that. That's Michael Horowitz and Jeff Sessions' job to find out how much damage these 2 agents and others did. But I care a lot about the Department of Justice and the FBI. And it breaks my heart that we are having to have this conversation about two agents that only wanted to get the president. They didn't have any interest in clearing him.